Reinhardt, J. Age 35. Proprietor, Reinhardt Agricultural Aviation.
You looking for me?
You're Jay Reinhardt, I'm looking for you. Look, I'll lay it right out for you. We found your mechanic killed at the airport today.
Dell? Somebody killed Dell?
Unless he shot himself 13 times. I see you're self-employed. You've been in Phoenix since 1952. You own and operate your own air service. You own the airfield, too?
Lease it. That's, pretty good, Sergeant. You got me down like a book.
We keep a complete file on anyone who owns or operates a plane near the border. And it's Lieutenant. Lieutenant Beck. B-E-C-K. Now, we found your boy about a half an hour ago. He'd been pretty well shot up with a Tommy gun.
Tommy gun? Not many of those around.
There's one. All right, Reinhardt, suppose you'll lay it out for me.
I'll do anything I can, Lieutenant. What do you want to know?
I want to know who killed him and why.
I have no idea who would want to kill him. Dell was a very good mechanic. He worked for me about 10 months, I guess. But I didn't know anything about his personal life. He kept my jitneys in the air, and I paid him.
All right. Where were you when it happened?
When did it happen?
8:30, give or take a few minutes. The medical examiner says you can tell within 5 minutes after the autopsy.
8:30, I was with a young lady.
Oh. Now, that's almost a classic. I don't suppose you'd want to tell me the young lady's name and where she lives?
Why, I'd be very happy to, Lieutenant. Her name is Jeannie Haggerty, and she lives at the Mountain Shadows, where she works.
What does she do?
She's a swimming instructor there. Oh, she's, respectable, Lieutenant.
Okay. Jean Haggerty, Mountain Shadows swimming instructor. I'll check it out.
You do that.
Yeah, well, I guess I can wrap it up here. You know, sometimes I think maybe I'd rather be a bookie.
There's more money in it.
I suppose so. But I'm a funny guy. I like to earn what I get. That's me, old-fashioned idea. How to step with the times.
Do you want anything more of me, Lieutenant?
You know, I've been a cop for 25 years. I've seen a lot of dead ones. This one stinks. Tommy gun. Nobody's been chopped down with a Tommy gun in this town since it was built. It stinks.
You said that.
I'll say it again, it stinks. Oh, the boy didn't have any identification on him. Will you tell me where he was living?
Like I told you, Lieutenant, I don't know anything about him. He kept me in the air. I paid him. That's it.
Yeah. Well, somebody paid him off tonight. In full.
Dell Taylor had indeed been paid in full. At first, his murder appeared to be a routine local matter, except for the machine gun angle. But when it was discovered that Taylor was tied in with an extraordinarily clever ring of counterfeiters, the Treasury Department moved into the case with the full force of its crime-busting organization. Evidence indicated that Taylor had been leaking some of the counterfeit money into the play spots of Phoenix and environs. His constant companion on these outings, police learned, was one Cameo Kincaid, statuesque blonde and beautiful nightclub singer.
You've heard of the Continental. You've heard of the Karaoke. You've heard of the Suzy Q. Well, watch this dance I'm gonna do, 'cause it's brand new. Break it up like this. Ooh, wow, shake 'em up, like this. Ooh, ooh, wow. No time for old-fashioned waltzes with their pa. 1, 2, 3, ah. No time for old-fashioned dances like the cha-cha-cha. Break it up, like this. Ooh, ooh, wow. Shake 'em up, like this. Ooh, ooh, wow. Break it up, baby, like this. Ooh, ooh, wow. Shake it up, baby, like this.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your dancing pleasure, the music of the DeVarga Trio.
Come in.
I got a guy out here, honey. Funny coot with glasses, sitting right down front. Did you see him?
They all look alike to me.
Well, he's the last of the big-time Charlies. Why don't you have a drink with him?
Oh, come on, Harry, not tonight.
Oh, you do look a little strained, kid. Why don't you take it easy? Remember, finale in 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's about all I can tell you, Lieutenant. Jay came directly from the field. As a matter of fact, we dined here, in the room.
You say you left about 10:30?
That's right.
Now, neither you nor Reinhardt left this room between 8 and 10:30.
No, thank you. I don't smoke.
You mind if I do?
Go right ahead.
Miss Haggerty, did you know this fellow that got killed at the airport, this Taylor?
Dell? Yes, I knew him. He worked for Jay. Such a sweet man. How could anyone do that?
Yeah, it's a pretty lousy world. Supposing you tell me the Reinhardt bit again.
Lieutenant, we've been through that twice. Isn't that enough?
I'd like to hear it again. That is, unless you have some particular reason you don't want to talk. Miss Haggerty, are you nervous?
Me? Why, no. Why should I be nervous?
That's a good question. When I get the answer to that, I might be able to make an arrest. Well, thank you very much. I'll keep in touch with you. Oh, Miss Haggerty, would you care for another cigarette? That's right. Gene Haggerty. Tell Landis I want that report as soon as possible. And tell him to check with the telephone company. I want to know who Taylor was calling from that phone booth.
Jay, the police were here.
I know. I saw them go out. The good Lieutenant Beck. B-E-C-K.
Jay, you've got to tell me something. We have to talk about what's happened.
Come on, Jeannie. Let's get out of here. I came over here tonight, Jeannie, because I had to see you. But I'm not going to tell you anything. It's better that you don't know.
Better? You say better. I lied for you, Jay. I told them you were with me all night, just like you told me to. But I didn't know that someone had killed...
You think that I had something to do with this, don't you?
What I think doesn't matter.
but it does matter. I'm meeting Stahl tomorrow, and I've got to make another pickup. I want you to stay home all day.
I have a class at 11 and another one at 4.
Jeannie, I'm afraid that...
I'll be here, I said. I'll be here all right. You can count on me.
Well, you've done a real good job so far.
Here it is. Del Taylor, 714 South McDowell. At least that's where he lived when he got his license.
Okay, let's go.
Miss Kincaid, may I speak to you for a moment, please? My name is Stahl, Manfred Stahl.
Well, I couldn't be happier. It could have been Heathcliff.
If you'd give me just a moment, please.
Not now. See you later, Buster.
The police and Cameo Kincaid had the same idea and a common destination: Del Taylor's apartment. In life, Del had money, lots of money. Even though it was counterfeit, it bought Cameo some of the pretty things a woman craves. The police were hunting for clues, but Cameo tried for a jackpot and hit it.
Cover the back door.
Must have got away. Nobody in sight out back.
It's very good. You should have been a detective.
Oh, come on, let's get down to business.
Whatever it was that we're after, it's gone now, so let's get some sleep.
Well, what do you want, Lieutenant?
Oh, just a couple of little things. Like, did Taylor have any relatives that you know about?
Look, Lieutenant, like I told you the other night, I don't know anything about Del Taylor. Now, look, I've got to load chemicals. You plan on helping?
In this heat? Are you crazy? I'll watch. The newspapers are making a big fuss about this killing.
Well, that's your worry, Lieutenant.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Tell me about this crop dusting bit. How does it work?
Oh, you know how it works, Beck. We load the plane with the chemicals, and then we fly low over the planted fields and drop the poisons on the various crops. That kills the insects.
Cotton mostly, huh?
Cottons, melons, peppers, dates, you name it. Look, Beck, I can keep this up as long as you can.
Why, Mr. Reinhardt, I don't know what you're talking about. Why do you keep this junk around here? Why don't you keep it over in the hangar?
Well, this isn't so far. And this, junk, as you call it, is highly volatile. That means it burns easy.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot. For your information, I'm not volatile. What's that thing over there?
Oh, you know what it is, Beck. It's a pump-back sump.
Yeah, I know what it is. Just want to see what kind of a rancher you are.
You sound surprised.
No, not surprised. Suspicious. Occupational hazard.
You know, Beck, I don't know much about police work, but it seems to me that you'd be a lot better off if you spent more time trying to find out what Taylor did when he was off duty.
Like you said, son, you don't know much about police work.
The trail of the counterfeit money led to a large Arizona bank, where Treasury agents swung into action.
Say, this looks mighty good to me.
It is good. Top counterfeit. Most bank tellers would accept it.
Well, Mr. Scalisi, I'd like to ask you one question. Are you going to handle this direct in Washington, or is our department in on it?
Well, you'll probably be working with us. The one bad thing, these prints are new in this country, and we've got to learn all we can right away.
Well, it looks like you've got it caught right away.
Well, maybe. This could be a probe before a countrywide spree, and we'd like to prevent that if possible.
Okay. What would you like me to do now?
Well, unfortunately, nothing, Sergeant. I'll be in touch with you later, possibly tomorrow. And now, if you'll put this in the vault, Mr. Martin, I'll have Washington wire you authorization to release it to my department.
We'll give you complete and full cooperation.
And this much I can tell you. I'm recommending a full investigative team be sent here. I'll holler if I need any help. Goodbye, Mr. Martin.
Goodbye.
All right, girls, ready, go.
Miss Haggerty, what a charming occupation.
Would you call me later in my room, please? I'll be through here in half an hour.
Yes, of course, my dear. Of course.
Oh, that must be him now. You better get it.
Hello? Yes, he is. Yes, you can come over now. Shall I, go, or?
You better wait till he gets here. He likes to see you.
He makes me feel so creepy. Jay, why do you have to do business with him?
I won't be doing business with him much longer, believe me.
Oh, Jay, do you really mean that?
What is this? Are you beginning to worry about me, huh?
Of course I am.
Listen, Jeannie, why don't you and I get out of here? We'll go somewhere. Anywhere you want to go. You know how I feel about you. You know, it's been almost a year now. In fact, it's been over a year. You still can't be thinking about Martin.
It's not Martin. I'm over that.
Well, then, why?
The radio. Turn it up loud.
Jay, I have a class. I'll see you later.
Okay. Quickly now. I'm uneasy about this nasty thing in all the papers. Tell me, Jay, why was this man killed?
I don't know. Now, take your package.
What was the reason for killing this man? A machine gun, the paper said. I don't like it, Jay.
Well, I like it a lot less than you do. I got cops swarming all over this landscape. Now, take your package and get out of here.
Just a moment. While we're still on the track, let me say at this very moment in Mexico, there is a shipment worth $250,000. This must be picked up immediately.
I told you I was through. Now, get somebody else to do your flying.
You can't back out now, Reinhardt.
I told you when we started this thing I'd back out any time I felt like it. Now, take your money and get out of here.
Now, listen to me. This is it, Reinhardt. $250,000.
I said no.
Very well. You force me to revise my tactics. I hate to use force.
Oh, stop your threats, Stahl. I was a fool to get mixed up with you in this thing in the first place.
Not a fool. You were greedy and I capitalized on it. I intend to make this shipment tonight. You will do this pickup, or something very painful will happen to your charming friend, Jean.
Oh, kill me, you make...
Reinhardt! All right. No harm, Reinhardt. I'll repeat. You will make this pickup.
I will make the pickup. But this is the last time, Stahl.
All right. Why did you kill Taylor?
Why did When you first complained to me that the shipments were coming up short, I told you that my mechanic was the only one that could get near those packages. And now he's dead. Well, that spells it out for me.
It's purely academic.
I'll make the pickup, but you stay away from Jeannie.
All right. And I'll keep my back to a wall.
On the trail of the elusive intruder who had ransacked the Taylor apartment, Lieutenant Beck turned his attention to Cameo Kincaid, the only person in the case who appeared to have been close to the murdered man.
Hi, Harry.
Hi, Lieutenant.
Cameo Kincaid around?
Hadn't come in yet. Have a beer?
Yeah, over grants and water.
Grants? On city money?
What do you care who pays?
Charlie.
What time does Cameo get in?
First show, 9:15. Look, why don't you go look her up where she lives, Lieutenant?
I did. Maybe you can help me, Harry. Cameo is running around with a little guy.
Yeah, the guy that got killed. Is Cameo in trouble, Lieutenant? You know, I got a big investment in that girl.
Let's hope it's not a bad one.
In the meantime, Jay Reinhardt arrived at his airport office to discover that he had an unexpected guest.
If you tell me what it is, I'll see if I can help you.
You can help me. I'm Cameo Kincaid.
I've heard the name,
Oh, from Dell?
among others. He was pretty stuck on you, wasn't he? I can see why.
Thanks a lot. We've got business, you and me.
Oh, we have? You want your crops dusted?
That the only business you're in?
Oh, you've lost me, Dal. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about money, lover. Lots of it.
My favorite subject.
Isn't that funny? It's mine, too. I know what you're doing.
Oh, you're great, Dal. I'm shaving.
What would you say if I told you I know all about those little bundles you're picking up south of the border?
I'd say that's a pretty strong statement.
I've got a pretty strong hand. Now, you ready to talk business?
I never give up the pot until I see the winning hand.
Okay. Dell brought me a metal container last week, and when I heard he was killed, I looked inside it. What do you think I found?
It's your story.
Counterfeit money. Loads of it.
Oh, so what? They'll give you a little box with some counterfeit cash in it. What's that got to do with me? Now, look, why don't you take your fancy frame and trot it out of my office, huh?
Listen to me. And you better listen to me good, because the next time I tell this story, it's going to be to the DA. Now, I know you fly the stuff in and pass it on. All I want's a piece of the action. A big piece.
Suppose you were right. Now, I'm not saying you are, but suppose you were right. How big a piece do you think you'd want for that kind of information?
Half.
Half. You're silly, honey.
I may be silly, but the next time I tell this story, it's going to be to the DA, as I told you. And also, I'd hate to have to tell him anything.
It's your pot. What's the ante?
What do you say we play for table stakes?
You know, this is very interesting, Pappy. These guys are pretty sharp. Scalisi can't figure out why this counterfeit isn't flooding the country. Now, you can tell one batch from the other simply because of the difference between... Hey, Pappy, are you listening to me?
Not if I can help it. I need a motive.
You mean for the Taylor killing?
Yeah.
Well, how about that dame he was running around with? She ought to fit in the picture somewhere.
That's what's interesting about this case. Now, why would a real sharp chick like that want to run around with a little nothing guy?
I don't know. But he must have had something.
I wonder. You know, I can feel a motive right Look, Bill, I want you to get a picture of this flyboy, this Reinhardt. Take it around to all the banks. What we're looking for is a ghost account or a safety deposit box.
Okay.
After you're through with that, I want you to get me a complete rundown on the Haggerty girl. Who she is, where she comes from, the whole bit. Then check the Growers Association. I want a complete schedule of all the jobs that Reinhardt's flown in the last 3 months.
What are you going to be doing? Listening to the ball game?
Who, me? I'm doing better than that. I'm going to a nightclub.
Trouble, mister?
Cut out the theatrics. There's nobody in miles of here but gophers.
The way this thing is going, I wouldn't even trust a gopher.
All right. Let's have it.
Well, you're in trouble.
Is that a threat?
Not for me, it isn't. Some dame came out to the field and said she knew all about the operation. And she had some of the money to prove it. This chick was running around with Del Taylor. Now, he was sneaking money out of the packages. We knew that. He knew about the pickup, the place, the whole works. And he got himself killed. This dame saw a chance to sneak in and move in, and that's exactly what she did. She wants half.
Half?
Half.
Oh, the Kincaid woman. Of course.
A nightclub tootsie with big eyes and no morals.
It's bad enough some of the money got passed around. But this... But you don't worry about a thing but that pickup tomorrow. I'll take care of this cameo Kincaid.
That's our page. You like it? My favorite perfume.
Yeah, nice. Oh, you're Cameo Kincaid. You're even prettier than your pictures.
Thanks a lot. Is that what you broke into my dressing room to tell me?
Oh, I didn't break in, no. The manager let me in. Harry. Real nice guy.
Oh, Harry's a real nice guy. Now, what are you doing in my dressing room?
Lieutenant Beck, Police Department.
Oh, sure. I've been expecting you. Lieutenant, do you mind? I have a show in 45 minutes, and I have to change clothes.
Oh, fine. I'll wait outside.
No, that's all right. Stay right here. Oh, Lieutenant, would you please?
Oh, good. I'm not very accustomed to this. There we are.
Thank you.
Why did you say you were expecting me?
Well, I went out with Del Taylor a couple of times, and nearly everybody in the country knew that he was killed last night. Oh, Lieutenant, would you hand me my slippers, please? Thanks.
Well, let's just say everybody in Phoenix knew about it. Miss Kincaid, how well did you know this little mechanic?
Oh, not too well. We had dinner a couple of times, a few drinks. You know how it is in this business.
You know, I've been able to find out that this Taylor was a pretty fast man with a buck. Past few weeks, he's had quite a number of bucks to be fast with.
Well, he was no King Farouk, but he was cute. Now, Lieutenant, what are you trying to prove?
I'm trying to prove anything. I'm just a cop doing a job. I jump in the middle of a mess like this and keep stirring till something comes up. Where were you last night between 8 and 10?
Not at the airfield.
Would you know anyone who would have any reason for killing this little guy?
I didn't know him well enough to say.
Now, there's a funny thing about this case. Nobody knew him well enough to say. Somebody shot him. Miss Kincaid, I got no argument with you. I just have to find out who killed Del Taylor. Right now, I don't know any more about him than the census taker. I was hoping you might help me.
I'd like to help you, Lieutenant. Really, I would. I'd answer any of your questions, but I don't really know anything about it at all.
Yeah. What do you know about this Jay Reinhardt?
Reinhardt?
Yeah.
I don't know him at all.
Oh, come on now. Taylor worked for him.
Lieutenant, What would you say if I told you that I didn't know where Dell worked or for whom?
I'd say you were a liar.
Are you going to arrest me?
What for?
Then, no more questions?
No more questions.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I do have a show. But drop in again anytime.
Oh, thanks. Would it be all right if I stayed to see the show?
If you buy the drinks.
Yeah.
Hello? Reinhardt. You shouldn't have called me here.
I shouldn't have called you at all. So listen. Now, why don't you forget about your big number tonight? Or it may be your last.
What is this, Reinhardt? Are you trying to scare me? Because if you are, let me tell you, it's not going to work.
I'm trying to do nothing but help.
Lieutenant, this is Bob Scalisi, Treasury Department. Lieutenant Beck.
Scalisi, nice to see you, Lieutenant. I wanted to talk to you about... Excuse me.
Something wrong, Bob?
No. But I think I recognize that little man from... Oh, yeah. He works for the department.
The Treasury Department?
Yeah, a minor official of some kind. I don't recall his title. I guess he's here on a vacation. Well, let's get down to business.
Pappy, we've got a motive for you.
The Taylor kill?
Yeah. Tell him about it, Bob.
Well, as you know, we've got a crew working on this counterfeit thing. Now, approximately $4,300 has been pushed right here in Phoenix. Now, we finally got 2 sales clerks to identify a picture.
Yeah, I know.
You do?
Yeah. Del Taylor. Who else? You don't chop a guy in half just for peanuts, you know. This little fella had to be getting money from somewhere illegally, just to afford the girl.
A pipeline had been operating just south of Nogales into this country. Now, our best information tells us it's being done by air.
So you see, Pappy, here's the whole thing. Reinhardt picks up the queer south of the border. He flies it into this country, and they pass it right here.
That's great. Only one thing wrong. Who killed Taylor?
Well, Reinhardt.
He's alibied, remember?
Oh, nothing but that Haggerty dame.
So her word's good in court.
Well, I think it's pretty clear what happened. Taylor got involved some way, flying the counterfeit in. And he got killed when the gang found out that he was passing it prematurely.
On that, I'll buy.
Pappy, what if I told you that Reinhardt was going to fly a job tomorrow? Now, just 10 miles east of Bisbee.
And that's smack on the border.
I'd say let's give him a little rope.
And now, the star of our show, Miss Cameo Kincaid.
Love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, baby. That's all. Love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, baby. That's all. There are many other phrases that would do as well. Like, I adore you, you're enchanting, you're swell. But nothing works like love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, baby. Right now. Love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, baby. Right now, love me, baby. In the morning, love me, baby. In the evening, love me, baby. On the desert, love me, baby. On the moon, love me, baby.
Get that girl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everything's all right now. Nobody got hurt. Everything's all right.
Got away. Car left.
Why was your car, don't it, run?
Oh, gee, Lieutenant, I thought that...
What did I tell you about thinking? You leave that to the politicians. Now, let's calm these people down.
Whether Manfred Stahl actually meant to shoot Cameo Kincaid, or just frighten her into forgetting her demand for half the take from the counterfeit money, is something that he alone knew. At any rate, he figured out her next move correctly. After escaping from the scene of the shooting, Cameo had headed directly for the ranch of her reluctant partner, Jay Reinhardt. Time was running out. It was a case of winner take all, and Cameo Kincaid didn't intend to lose.
What a tender scene. Hold it right there.
What's the gun for, Cameo? You don't need a gun for me.
Maybe I don't, honey, but just in case I do. Now, you just stand there and listen to me.
Why don't you, put the gun down first?
I'll hold it. You know, about 20 minutes ago, somebody took a shot at me. You know who it was?
Stahl, the end man in this counterfeit daisy chain. I warned you, remember?
I remember something else. I met a guy named Stahl, and I didn't know that he was the boss. And he didn't know anything about me either, unless you told him.
I told him, why not? He's the guy you had to do business with, not me.
Well, it doesn't matter, because I'm through asking. Now I'm telling. Now, here's how it's going to be. There's $250,000 you just mentioned, right? And there's a pickup scheduled for tomorrow.
The pickup is scheduled, but I'm not making the pickup. I'm through with this whole mess.
Wrong. You're going to make the pickup, just as scheduled. But you're not going to take it to Stahl. You're going to bring it to me.
You're crazy, honey. Why would I do that?
Well, because this whole thing is blowing up. And because I'm asking you nice and ladylike. And because we're going to be waiting for the package. Jean and me. And for her sake, I hope you play it smart.
I'll make the pickup, Cameo. But I'm warning you. You leave Jeannie alone. And I hope you enjoy the money.
Oh, I'll enjoy it, all right. You know, all my life I've had to depend on some idiot in pants just to get by. Well, I'm through with all that. No more cigar smoke or tired jokes. I'll enjoy it, all right. You just bring it, huh? Hadn't you better get going?
With the girl he loves held hostage, and with no illusions about what would happen to her if he didn't make the scheduled $250,000 pickup south of the border, Jay Reinhardt had no alternative but to obey, and to the letter. Not for Lieutenant Beck, the sleep of the untroubled. Beck was worried. The newspapers were clamoring for the DA's scalp, and Beck felt the DA's hot breath on the back of his neck. For days, he had been studying the case from every angle. Then, suddenly, the pieces started to fall into place.
Come on, Paul Revere. We're going for a ride.
Okay, Lieutenant.
You ready, Sergeant?
Yeah.
Where's your hat?
Huh? Oh, my hat.
After waiting patiently at Reinhardt's sump for the passage of the plane, Manfred Stahl turned fisherman. His goal, the biggest catch on record, 250,000 fish. Just a small package wrapped in oilskin, but enough for a king's ransom. Enough in the right hands to save Jeannie Haggerty's life.
Hey, come on, kid. Wake up. It looks like your boyfriend isn't coming back. Time's running out on you.
Lay the gun on the table, Miss Kincaid. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Lay the gun down. It would be a pity to crush such beauty. I've long been an admirer of yours. You do remember me, don't you, Miss Kincaid? Manfred Stahl.
How could I forget you? You've got to remember someone that took a shot at you.
It seemed logical at the time. However, the situation has changed now. I can no longer return to my job, and you are certainly persona non grata.
What's that, a proposition?
Could be. I've a good deal of money, and this, $250,000 more.
Where did you get that?
Where it was dropped. Miss Kincaid, Cameo. You don't think I would finance a proposition without knowing all of the particulars?
But how could you? He isn't even back yet.
Not back here. Jay flies over the sump, drops it in.
I get it. Then they can't find anything on him when he takes off or when he lands.
Precisely. Think of what we can do with all this money, you and I. The appreciation of gracious living is given to very few.
Honey, do I appreciate. You know, this $250,000 makes you look like Cary Grant.
Good. Have we struck a bargain?
You've got a deal.
Let's go. Wait a minute.
For what?
What about her?
Oh, I'll take care of her.
Meanwhile, at the airfield, his case all but complete, Lieutenant Beck awaits the return of Jay Reinhardt from his fishing expedition.
Well, a welcoming committee. Nice of you to worry about me, Lieutenant.
I think so. We'd like to look over your plane, Mr. Reinhardt. Now, I don't have a search warrant, but I can get one easy enough.
Well, you go right ahead. I've got nothing to hide.
We'll do that.
What do you expect to find?
Me? I don't expect to find anything. Just nosing around. It's taken in China?
Burma, 42. Look, Lieutenant, how long are we going to be?
Oh, not much longer. Reinhardt, don't it make you feel pretty bad with a record like that to realize how far down you've fallen?
What do you mean?
I mean that counterfeiting business. Oh, I know it. You're clean, we won't find anything in the plane, but you know and I know that you've been flying that stuff across the border.
You think so? Well, then why don't you charge me?
Charge you? With what? I've got no evidence. Look, I want to level with you. I'm not interested in this counterfeiting business. That's somebody else's baby. What I want is whoever killed Dale Taylor.
Well, then you don't want me.
Maybe not. But you could help me. Now, the motive for this murder had to be connected with this counterfeiting business some way.
Look, Lieutenant, can I make a phone call? Thank you. Jeannie Haggerty, please.
She's usually there when you call, isn't she?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, that's what she's for. It's a headquarters, where you can meet your contact man. Oh, I can understand that. How much did it cost you to have that girl have the baby? Look, I know all about the wreck and how you pulled her out of the car. Whatever happened to the guy she was going to marry?
He was killed in the crash. She was in the hospital about 4 months.
I see why she's so loyal.
Well, there's nothing in that plane but a couple of dead boll weevils.
Well, that figures. Sit down, Reinhardt.
Look back
I
now.
said sit down. Reinhardt, you're making a mistake. One man's been killed already, and anybody connected with this counterfeiting operation's in danger. Now, you can only get hung once.
Look back, Hello? Who? Jeannie? Where are you? Shot? Well, look, honey, I'll get somebody over to you right away. And don't worry about Stahl and Cameo. We'll get them.
What was that all about?
Well, it broke for you, Lieutenant. Stahl and the Kincaid girl just made the last pickup. They shot Jeannie Haggerty and took off in her car.
Shot her? Where?
At my ranch.
I'll get someone on it.
Now, let's get after him, Lieutenant, and I'll...
Just a minute now. Who is this Stahl?
He's the boss of this whole counterfeit outfit.
Now, you're not going anywhere until they lay everything right on the line.
Look, while we sit here yakking, they're getting away. Now, come on, let's get after them.
I understand all about that. Now, look, you flew the counterfeit in, is that right?
Yes, and turned it over to Stahl. I got paid a straight fee for the trip.
Why didn't you have anything on the plane when we searched it? You just made a pickup, isn't that true?
Yes, but I never took off and landed with the bundles. I snapped them off the ground, then dropped them into the sump on my property flying back. You remember the sump?
Yeah, I hadn't counted on that.
Stahl is a minor official of some sort in the Treasury Department.
Oh, he must be the guy that Scalisi saw in the nightclub.
Stahl worked in the place where they burned the old and ragged money. It seems they counted it about 12 times. Different people.
And then what?
It's still good money. That's the bit. Stahl pulled out spendable U.S. currency and substituted wrinkled-up counterfeit.
And the count was always right.
That's right. That's why none of it ever got around town.
Except here. That's where Del Taylor came in, huh?
He was lifting bills out of each shipment and passing some of it around town.
With Jay Reinhardt's explanation tying up the loose ends, Lieutenant Beck finally had the evidence he needed to make an arrest. He now knew who killed Del Taylor, but his quarry was fleeing in a high-powered car for the border. Reinhardt volunteered to overtake the escaped car in his plane, while the police followed, keeping in touch by radio.
Joe. This is Reinhardt. Can you get me Lieutenant Beck?
Go ahead, Reinhardt. This is Beck. Did you spot them?
No. Just thought I'd check. I'll swing further south toward the Canyon Road.
Just keep looking.
Reinhardt. Hey, Beck.
Okay, I'm here. What is it?
Found them. They're about 40 miles from the border on the old road. It looks like Stahl plans on tearing out some of the wire below the river bend, making his own door into Mexico.
Reinhardt, listen. Stall them. Get that? Flag them down. Delay them. No hope for this one, Sergeant. He's had it. Radio in for an ambulance.
I'm back.
Take it easy, Cameo. Sergeant, get a doctor. Cameo, why Taylor?
You know,
I found the evidence in your room.
I had to get to the big money.
Was money that important to you?
I thought so.
Hi, hon. Oh, I'm glad to see you.
Oh, Jay, I didn't think you'd be...
Here, huh? You're surprised. Well, so am I. I'm out on bail. My sentence comes up next week. Beck and Salisky helped me. Maybe it won't be too bad.
Whatever it is, I'll wait.
Well, hello there.
Well, is it all cleaned up, Lieutenant?
Yeah, this one is. But there doesn't seem to be any end to it. We nailed this one down all right. Those jodhpurs I found in Cameo's room, I had them checked by the lab boys, and they said the blood on them was Taylor's. That did it.
Well, I'm sure glad it's all over. Well, we've got to get out of here. There's not much time.
Of course you do. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Pretty good-looking couple, isn't it, Pappy?
Yeah. One thing still bugs me, you know?
Oh, what bothers you?
Where do you suppose Cameo got a machine gun? Let's grab some lunch.